Your metabolism isn't broken, it's adapted. Right now, inside your cells, your mitochondria are choosing fat storage over fat burning, not because you're lazy, but because you're sending the wrong signal. The problem isn't calories, it's chemistry. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to flip the master switch, activate your fat-burning pathways, and force your body out of storage mode. This isn't dieting, this is metabolic control. The human body is an expert at deception, and right now, yours is lying to you. Within the walls of your cells, a silent negotiation is taking place, one that determines if the food you eat becomes the kinetic energy of life or the stagnant, toxic storage of visceral fat. You think your metabolism is broken or slow? Biology proves you're wrong. Your metabolism isn't broken, it is adapted. You are trapped in a state of survival-based downregulation, a biological stalemate where your body prioritizes the preservation of fat over the burning of it. What if you could break that stalemate today? What if you could bypass the cellular sensors keeping you in storage mode and force your mitochondria to reignite the furnace? This isn't about dieting. This is about metabolic hacking through molecular signaling. Welcome to Healthy Body Science. If you feel like your body is working against you, you don't need a new workout. You need a new biological signal. Today, we are exposing the metabolic trick that forces a suppressed system to begin oxidizing fat in a matter of days. We are going to explore the chemistry of insulin, the power of AMPK activation, and the evolutionary secrets of mitochondrial biogenesis. If you are ready to stop fighting your biology and start mastering it, subscribe now and join our collective of analytical minds. To force a metabolism to change, we must first examine the crime scene of a stagnant system. In the modern world, we suffer from metabolic inflexibility. In a healthy state, you are a hybrid engine. You burn glucose when sugar is present and switch seamlessly to fat when it's absent. But due to chronic insulin spikes, you've lost the ability to flip that switch. Your body has literally forgotten how to access its own fat stores. You are like a tanker ship carrying 10 million gallons of oil, but running out of power because you can't find the pump to your own cargo. This flexibility is the hallmark of youth. Yet the average adult is now a sugar burner, trapped in a cycle of glucose dependency that makes fat loss biochemically impossible. The first step in this forced hack is manipulating the insulin-to-glucagon ratio. Insulin is the ultimate storage signal. As long as insulin is present, even in small amounts, the enzyme LPL remains active, pulling fat into your cells, while the fat-burning enzyme HSL is completely inhibited. You cannot burn fat in the presence of insulin, period. To force the switch, we must initiate metabolic flux. This begins with a 48-hour strategic depletion phase. By aggressively crushing the glycemic load and focusing on high leucine proteins, we signal the pancreas to halt insulin and begin the secretion of glucagon. Glucagon is the mobilizer. It's the chemical signal that tells the liver, the sugar is gone, go find the fat. During this 48-hour window, your body dumps its glycogen stores, the emergency sugar in your muscles. As this glycogen dissolves, it takes water with it, which is why the initial weight loss is so rapid, but the weight isn't the goal. AMPK, the signal is, but the real trick isn't just hormones, it's the master metabolic switch known as AMPK. Think of AMPK as the fuel gauge of your cells. When energy is high, AMPK is quiet. When energy is low, it screams. When AMPK is activated, it triggers autophagy, cellular recycling, and forces the mitochondria to start importing fatty acids for fuel. To force this switch, we utilize a biological bypass. We don't just wait for the body to run out of energy. We create a pseudo-fasted state through a specific combination of movement and micronutrients. By engaging in low-intensity movement in a glycogen-depleted state, we create a massive demand for ATP. The cell, sensing a crisis, activates AMPK, which triggers the PGC1 alpha pathway, the master regulator of mitochondrial biogenesis. This is the magic. You aren't just burning fat. You are literally forcing your cells to build more mitochondria. You are increasing the size and number of the furnaces in your body. This is the difference between a 4-cylinder engine and a V8. A body with high mitochondrial density burns fat even while you sleep. This is why calories in, calories out fails. It ignores the density of the furnace. If your metabolism is stalled, you have a small engine. Our goal is a biological upgrade. The signaling of PGC1 alpha acts as a transcription factor, entering your DNA and telling your cells to manufacture new protein structures that facilitate fat oxidation. You are essentially reprogramming your genetic expression from survival storage to growth efficiency. By day 3, the body enters nutritional ketosis. But we aren't stopping there. To prevent the thyroid from downregulating, a common side effect of calorie restriction, we implement the refeed trick. This involves a 12-hour window where we reintroduce complex carbs and specific amino acids. This sudden surge in nutrients tells the hypothalamus there is no famine. It keeps the metabolic rate high and prevents the starvation response from crashing your BMR. It's a biological ping that keeps the system on high alert. Many fail because they stay in a deficit for too long, causing the thyroid to reduce the conversion of T4 to the active T3 hormone. By cycling signals of abundance and scarcity, we keep the thyroid guessing, ensuring the metabolic thermostat remains set to high. We must also discuss brown adipose tissue, BAT. Most people think of fat as white, jiggly tissue, but humans have brown fat packed with mitochondria and a protein called UCP1. This protein allows mitochondria to burn fuel without creating energy. Instead, it creates heat. It is a literal biological space heater. You can force your metabolism to burn an extra 300 to 500 calories a day simply by activating your brown fat. This is done through non-shivering thermogenesis. By exposing the body to cold, like a 60-second cold burst at the end of a shower, we trigger norepinephrine. This binds to the receptors on brown fat cells, turning on the heater. Within days, your body begins to upregulate its internal thermostat. This process is cumulative. Each cold signal recruits more brown fat cells, increasing your resting metabolic rate even in a warm environment. On day 5 and 6, we address the inflammatory blockade. Chronic inflammation in the hypothalamus, often caused by seed oils and high fructose corn syrup, creates leptin resistance. Leptin is the hormone that tells your brain how much fat you have. If your brain is deaf to leptin, it thinks you are starving, even if you're carrying 50 pounds of extra weight. To force leptin sensitivity back, we focus on the gut-brain axis. By introducing fermentable fiber and polyphenol-rich compounds, we reduce neuroinflammation. Suddenly the brain wakes up and realizes it has massive energy reserves. The result? Spontaneous fat loss and a dramatic reduction in hunger. This is where the deception ends. When your brain can finally see your fat stores again, it naturally reduces your appetite and increases your desire for spontaneous movement, a phenomenon known as NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. The final component of this metabolic force is circadian alignment. Your liver, muscles, and fat cells all have internal clocks. If you eat late at night, you send a daytime signal to your liver, while your brain sends a nighttime signal. This mismatch is a primary driver of metabolic syndrome. By restricting the feeding window to daylight hours, we allow the metabolic organs to enter deep repair during the night. This is when the most profound fat oxidation occurs. By aligning your biology with the rotation of the Earth, you are utilizing 4 billion years of evolutionary wisdom to fix your metabolism. During the nighttime fast, the body increases melatonin, not just for sleep, but as a powerful antioxidant that protects mitochondria from daytime damage. By day 7, the transformation is no longer a trick. It is your new biological reality. Your insulin levels have stabilized. Your AMPK pathways are primed. Your mitochondria are multiplying, and your brown fat is active. You have moved from metabolic lockdown to metabolic freedom. Your body is no longer fighting to store energy, it is fighting to use it. This state allows for greater dietary flexibility because your furnace is now large enough to handle calorie surges without defaulting to storage. To sustain this, we must understand metabolic flexibility as a lifelong skill. It is not enough to force the switch once. You must maintain the sensitivity of the sensors. This involves occasional metabolic stressors, short periods of intense activity, or brief fasts to remind the body to stay efficient. In our world of perpetual comfort, the body becomes lazy. We must provide the voluntary hardship required to keep the cellular machinery sharp. This is the logic of real logic science. The body adapts to the signals it receives. Provide stagnation and you get disease. Provide challenge and you get strength. Consider the liver, the metabolic gatekeeper. When overloaded with fructose, it undergoes de novo lipogenesis, creating fat that gets trapped inside the liver itself. This internal fat is the most metabolically damaging. By focusing on this 7-day protocol, we are essentially unclogging the liver. As the liver clears, its ability to manage blood sugar improves exponentially. This creates a downstream effect where your muscles become more insulin sensitive. You begin to shuttle nutrients into muscle tissue rather than fat tissue. This is the ultimate trick, turning your body from a fat storage machine into a muscle-building machine. This is the power of real logic science. We don't believe in magic pills. We believe in the logical application of biological principles. But the journey doesn't end here. Metabolism is a dynamic system that requires constant observation. We want to hear from you. Have you felt the metabolic lockdown? Have you tried the cold burst or the refeed trick? Share your data in the comments below. Let's build a community where logic and health are inseparable. This collaborative exploration is how we move the needle of human health forward. Furthermore, we must address the psychological aspect. For years, you've been told weight is a moral failing. That narrative creates a stress response that ironically keeps you in fat storage mode. By shifting to a science-first perspective, we remove the guilt and replace it with data. You aren't lazy. Your AMPK was simply suppressed. You aren't addicted to sugar. Your leptin signaling was blocked by inflammation. When you view your body as a chemical system to be optimized rather than a flaw to be punished, you unlock the mental clarity needed to succeed long-term. As we look toward the future, real logic science will continue to explore the cutting edge. From exarchaean brain communication to the impact of the microbiome on systemic insulin sensitivity, we are just getting started. The blueprint for a high-functioning human being is written in our DNA. We are simply providing the ink. Make sure you are subscribed to Real Logic Science for our upcoming deep dives into longevity, hypertrophy, and cognitive optimization. We are here to help you decode the language of your cells and translate it into a life of vitality and strength. In closing, remember that your metabolism is the foundation of everything you do. Your energy, your mood, your immunity, and your longevity. It is the most important investment you will ever make. By taking these 7 days to force the switch, you aren't just losing a few pounds. You are reclaiming your biological birthright. You are becoming the hybrid, flexible, and resilient being that evolution intended you to be. Thank you for watching, and more importantly, thank you for being a student of your own biology. Your metabolism isn't broken, it's just waiting for the right command. This is Healthy Body Science, and we'll see you in the next deep dive into the molecular reality of the human.